Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. Any and all those things are never required, but I always appreciate it. But let's get into it. So for today, I wanted to highlight a game that not a lot of people know about. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this series, is I wanted to showcase games that may have flown under the radar, especially if they're older games. You have no reason to go back and find them. So, here's me coming along to kind of show you what you may have missed. I think this is a hidden gem, if you will. And it's a beat 'em up, which is one of my favorite categories of games, especially during the SNES days, which is a Super Nintendo game. And it is called Brawl Brothers. It is made by a company called Jellicoe. You may have never heard of them, and that is okay. That's why we're here today. So Brawl Brothers is your standard beat 'em up. It's not the best beat 'em up, but I would give it props, and I would put it alongside games like the Final Fight games, not the arcade versions, but the actual console versions, because this is a console game. So one of the cool things I immediately liked about this game when I got it, which I didn't play this game until about 99. And it was released in 93, and I had never heard of it when I bought it in 99. Traded in some games at Funcoland, which is another acknowledge of how old I am, right? So I went to Funcoland, traded in a few games, and decided to take a shot on Brawl Brothers, and I was pleasantly surprised. The roster is pretty actually significant, because normally during this time, if it's a beat 'em up, you probably got three people. You got the big guy, the main character, and then maybe a ninja or a woman character. But in this, you have 5 different characters, and the character I played the most looks like a black version of M. Bison, so I definitely had to roll with him. And then once you start playing, 2 things that I noticed immediately. 1, the game is difficult, and that is by design, because for some reason, the default settings of this game is on hard, and that is uncomfortable when you first start playing. You'll get cooked really, really fast, which you will probably see me die several times as you're watching the gameplay of this game. The other thing is that it is one of the few 16-bit games that you can dash or run, right? That's not something that was standard on most games, especially beat 'em ups. Like besides platformers, there really wasn't a lot of dashing going on or running. Like even in a fighting game, Street Fighter, there's no dash. Eternal Champions, Killer Instinct, no dashes, right? But in Brawl Brothers, you can dash. So it kind of makes movement a little bit better. Now, there are some polishing issues that you'll probably notice as I'm playing, where I can't hit the enemy because I'm not on the exact plane I need to be to kind of line up my attacks, but they kind of slip in and slip out, which is okay. Like I said, it's not Streets of Rage, it's not Turtles in Time, it's not even Knights of the Round, but it's a pretty good game in my opinion. The other thing is when you grab items to use, like the health items, like a piece of chicken or the drink or the health kit, the game does not use them automatically. It is a very weird thing that they decided to do, where you have to pick it up and then press the attack button again to use the item. And yes, you can die trying to use the item, because if you are paying attention to any of the gameplay, the computers or the all the enemies, they can land just as many hits as you can, right? Like you have to actually press the button to get up. If you don't press anything when you get knocked on the ground, your character will stay there until they start attacking you again. Or they'll hit you while you're on the ground. They'll do some little slide move or some stomp, or they'll throw something at you and it'll do damage, and you can get caught in some loops. It's like, this is not a very forgiving game, so you got to be on point. But I've enjoyed this game. It's not the longest game. It's only 5 levels. Most levels have, I think, like 1 extra area. So technically, if you want to get technical, it has 10 stages, but not really. Like, it's the same place. Not the most imaginative enemies, but they'll do. They'll get you from point A to point B. You know what you're fighting. You see the varieties, even if it's just color swaps, which, I mean, pretty much most beat 'em ups of that time had. And even now, the beat 'em ups that come out now, they kind of still do the same thing. So it's fine. But every character has a dash attack. They have their basic combos. They got their throws. They have their special move that takes up health when you use it. And it's just, you get in, drop in, start playing, and try to get to the end of the game. Now, The other thing that's cool is when you die, you actually can pick where you spawn. The only thing that's kind of whack is they don't do the knock all the enemies down thing that I like. That way you can kind of, you know, get in with a fresh start. This is the enemies will follow your cursor as you get ready to drop, and they will, you know, they will be waiting for you and ready to pounce. So you got to be on your P's and Q's at all times. Most of my memories with this game is me and my cousin Pierre playing this and just having a good time and staying up way past our bedtimes trying to sneak and play it along with other games. But this game was really cool because this was like one of the first games I bought when I was trying to start my SNES collection. It didn't work. Pretty much all of my collections were lost in some point of time for various different reasons, which I may get into as we go through the series, depending on, you know, what memories get brought up as we get more games done. But if you've played this game, I'd really like to hear your stories about it. If you haven't, I certainly invite you to try to play the game. Good luck trying to figure out how to play it because it is not on any services that I'm aware of. So the only way I can think of is one, which you're not supposed to do, wink. Or if you happen to get a physical copy of this game, which I mean, that's possible. You can definitely get them. They're not too expensive compared to the majority of SNES games. But yeah, let me know what you think. Appreciate you taking out time to check out this video, you know, and be safe out there. Have fun. Peace.